Let me tell you about Toby. Toby Rickets is an award-winning voiceover colleague in Tasmania, that's next to New Zealand, and he's the host of the VO Live podcast, which you can also find on YouTube. He's a level-headed and intelligent interviewer who can ask tough questions in the most gentle way. I know because he's interviewed me in the past. This week, Toby Rickets talked to the CEO of Voices.com, David Ciccarelli, about the commotion around Voices.ai, the new platform Ciccarelli is creating to jump on the AI bandwagon. As of now, Voices.ai is just a bought domain with nothing to show for. There are no voice samples on the site, so what's the big deal? Well, as I told you earlier, members of the Voices.com community around the world are afraid that Voices.com will use whatever their members have uploaded to the site to generate these artificial voices, and as technology progresses, they will eventually be replaced by clones they helped create. And why are they thinking that? Because the Voices.com terms of service state that those who agree to it have signed their legal rights over to the platform. And if you want to list yourself on the Voices.com website, you have to sign on that dotted line. Now, why would Voices.com want and need the rights to your audio? Ciccarelli says it's the only way for them to go after clients who don't pay. It's in our best interest. My gosh, they're just trying to help us. Which is weird because those same terms of service state, and I quote, "Client and talent agree that Voices has no responsibility for any disputes or issues that arise between client and talent. The resolution of all disputes and claims between client and talent concerning the performance of and payment for any job services and a job agreement, including with respect to any enforcement, breach, terms, conditions, warranties and representations associated with a job service and a job agreement, is solely between client and talent." Also note that Voices.com forbids their talent to directly communicate with the clients. How are you supposed to resolve a dispute with someone you can't contact? Tell me. Anyway, the big news from Toby's interview was that Voices.com now says it's going to change its terms of service. Hallelujah! The updated terms will state that Voices.com is not permitted, and I quote Ciccarelli, to make or train derivative works such as synthetic voices, or more commonly known as AI voices, or any user-generated content without the express consent of said user or the talent. And that's an important step in the right direction. However, I just checked the Voices.com website to see if their terms were updated, and that was not the case. Of course, the problem with AI and synthetic voices is much larger than a company in Canada like Voices.com. Of course they want a piece of the pie, and I can't blame them. As always, our laws are running behind the latest developments, and the discussion about the ethical aspects and dangers of voice cloning will go on for a long time. In an earlier video, I compared AI voices to artificial flowers. Everyone can see why they're lifeless and fake. But what would happen if we started making artificial flowers that looked, felt and smelled just like the real thing? That's what's happening with AI-generated voices. They are now so realistic that even our own parents and our banks believe they're talking to us instead of to some robot. Vladimir Putin might be thinking he's talking to Zelensky, threatening to bomb the Kremlin, and Putin might take massive aggressive action because of a fake voice, sending a fake message from a teenager trying to prank world leaders. That's where the real danger lies. Now do yourself a favor and listen to the whole VO Live interview with David Ciccarelli. Toby Rickets did an excellent job, as he always does. And if you're not sure you want to make Toby's conversation part of your day, ask yourself, Toby or not Toby? That's the question. See you next time.